At a fundraiser in San Francisco on Wednesday, he called his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, a crazy. Putin was quick to respond. I prefer Biden to Donald Trump as President of the United States. This, of course, brought to our minds the question, Biden or Trump? Donald Trump's immigration policy aimed to strengthen border security through strict immigration measures. He implemented policies such as a travel ban on certain Muslim-majority countries and advocated for the construction of a border wall between the U.S. and Mexico. These policies sparked controversies and legal challenges. On the other hand, Joe Biden promised a comprehensive immigration reform that includes a pathway to citizenship for undocumented migrants and a more humane approach to addressing the root causes of migration. He implemented the American Rescue Plan to provide assistance during the pandemic and proposed the American Citizenship Act to address immigration system challenges. The effects of these proposed reforms on the immigrant community and the economy, as well as the challenges at the border, are yet to be seen. Trump's economic agenda involved tax reforms, with tax cuts for businesses and individuals, as well as addressing trade deficits. He signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, implementing tax cuts for both corporations and individuals. Trump engaged in trade wars by imposing tariffs on various sectors. The consequences of his policies are seen in the effects of tax cuts on economic growth, employment, and changes in global economic relations. On the other hand, Biden aimed to reduce income inequality by imposing higher taxes on high-income groups. He focused on infrastructure projects to reduce unemployment and revive the economy. Biden implemented the American Rescue Plan, a large-scale aid package to address economic difficulties caused by the pandemic. He also proposed the Infrastructure Act to improve infrastructure. The consequences of Biden's policies include examining the impact of tax policies on income distribution and understanding the effects of infrastructure investments on post-pandemic economic recovery. Trump supported law enforcement, advocating for law and order and appointing conservative judges who may influence civil rights. He criticized the Black Lives Matter movement during protests against police brutality, and his policies and rhetoric have been accused of fueling racism. The consequences of his approach include changes in public discourse and societal attitudes towards racial justice. On the other hand, Biden advocates for racial justice and acknowledges systemic racism as a significant problem. He is committed to building a diverse and inclusive government. The Biden administration has taken steps to combat discrimination, including issuing a decree on racial equality and justice and seeking solutions to inequalities in criminal justice and law enforcement. The effectiveness of these efforts and public perception of the administration's actions towards a more inclusive society are important considerations. In terms of foreign affairs, Trump promised to prioritize U.S. interest with an America First policy and to negotiate with North Korea while taking a tough stance on nuclear threats. However, he withdrew from the Paris Climate Agreement and distanced the U.S. from other international agreements. He organized 3 summits with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to initiate negotiations on nuclear weapons. This had consequences, including the impact on the U.S. global reputation due to withdrawing from international agreements, and the implications of the summits in addressing nuclear threats. On the other hand, Biden pledged to restore the U.S. as a strong international leader and stressed the importance of global cooperation. He committed to effectively dealing with rivals like Russia and China. He has since returned to the Paris Climate Agreement and other international agreements, and has made efforts to maintain diplomatic relations with Russia and China while managing competition. The results include the effects of renewed commitment to global cooperation and the impact of developments in relations with Russia and China on global balances. Trump's approach involved being active on social media, particularly Twitter, and attracting attention through controversial statements. He frequently communicated via Twitter, directly addressing the public and drawing media and public attention with counterproductive remarks. The results of his communication style included examining the interaction between social media and public perception, as well as the effects of counterproductive statements on policy and leadership. On the other hand, Biden aimed to maintain a calmer presence on social media and reduce polarization by emphasizing unity. He adopted a more controlled image by communicating with traditional media and official statements, continuing his efforts to unite society. The outcomes of his communication style included examining the effects of a more traditional approach on public perception and assessing the impact of the unity theme on social cohesion. Today, we examine two great superheroes of American politics. Donald Trump and Joe Biden behaved as if they had fallen on the set of a film from the Marvel Universe instead of taking over the running of the country. So, indeed, it was sometimes difficult to find the line between fact and fiction. So, who is your choice? Don't forget to specify in the comments. If you like the video, press the like button and let's decide the next comparison together in the comments.